trafficking. How could you nominate someone with allegations of child trafficking trafficking across state lines and having sex with a 17-year-old? My understanding, further on in the interview, they discussed the fact that once he finds out that she's 17, he stops having sex with her. Well, statutory sex doesn't require you to know what age the person is. It only requires the age. And so if these things are true...
So if you're having sex with an underage girl,
yes,
she tells you she's 18,
yes,
and you have it anyway, you're still liable.
Yes, you
okay.
are.
She's actually still only 17.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. And so I'm deeply disturbed.
What's happening, everybody? The View's Sunny Hostin went on an unhinged rant about Matt Gaetz, Donald Trump's nominee for Attorney General. In an episode of The View, Sunny Hostin discussed allegations against Matt Gaetz as if they were fact and that he's been proven guilty. 2 days later, Sunny Hostin had to eat crow and was forced to apologize by The View's producers. So let's watch Sunny Hostin lob unfounded accusations at Matt Gaetz and then pout and be held accountable for the first time in her miserable life. Let's go.
It's out there so that the others don't look as bad. That's my point.
Well,
Yes.
listen, I still think it's about a 50-50 chance that he actually gets confirmed, and not because I've got some strong, belief that the Senate is going to put pressure against Donald Trump or is going to oppose him, but because Matt Gaetz is universally despised in Congress.
Yeah.
I can't think
More
of
than
somebody...
Ted Cruz?
Even more so than Ted
Todd.
Cruz. In the House, it's because he overthrew Kevin McCarthy and brought the House to a screeching halt. There was an image where he nearly got in it. He was in a shouting match that looked like it was going to go to blows during that period. And he's somebody who, his reputation precedes him in Washington. These allegations are not surprising to people who have been around him and have heard these things over the years. And I think the most likely scenario is this. The President-elect Donald Trump absolutely has a constitutional right to nominate him, and the Senate has the role of advising consent. If there is one person they're going to block, I would guess it'd be Matt Gaetz. And I think the way they'll do it is they'll say, let's not make this your problem, Donald Trump. I'm just going to say the votes aren't there. Put someone else up who can get through. I think the most likely scenario would be it's the Deputy Attorney General he's appointed, his criminal defense attorney, Todd Blanche, who... Whatever you think of him appointing as criminal defense attorney, he has the qualifications to be there. He's a former federal prosecutor. He worked for the Southern District of New York. But Matt Gaetz is a person of low moral character. This is widely known about him. And I'm kind of bullish he's not going to get through.
Yeah, I think what we really need to think about is the position that he has been nominated for by this president-elect. To be the Attorney General means that you're responsible for the Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice is one of the largest law enforcement agencies in the world.
Hey, if you like watching videos like these, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
And it's very serious business. I mean, you have the Civil Rights Division, Antitrust Division, the Criminal Division, U.S. Attorney's offices, the FBI. And within the Department of Justice, you have the Sex Crimes Unit, which is what I was a part of, child sex crimes and child trafficking. How could you nominate someone with allegations of child trafficking trafficking across state lines and having sex with a 17-year-old? My understanding, further on in the interview, they discussed the fact that once he finds out that she's 17, he stops having sex with her. Well, statutory sex doesn't require you to know what age the person is. It only requires the age. And so if these things are true...
So if you're having sex with an underage girl,
yes,
she tells you she's 18,
yes,
and you have it anyway, you're still liable.
Yes, you
Yeah,
are.
she's actually still only 17.
Statutory
Just to clarify.
rape.
Yeah.
And so I'm deeply disturbed at the lack of judgment that we are already seeing from the president-elect.
But you're not surprised.
I'm not surprised, but I think a lot of people are. A lot of people said things.
I'll keep this short because we're about to get to the good stuff. Sorry you had to slog through this first. If Matt Gaetz was a Democrat, they'd be silent on this. It wouldn't be a story on their show. They'd do what normal people do and wait to see if these allegations were credible or if he was in fact found guilty. I promise this video really pays off in the end, so I don't mean to bring the mood down right now, but I've just got to say, I like Matt Gaetz a lot, and I always have. And I feel like if someone in Congress is universally disliked by the Republicans and the Democrats, as strange as it seems, I feel like that means that they're doing something right. However, if he's found guilty of any of these accusations, I'd be very disappointed, but I would still denounce him just as I would a Democrat. All of us on the right in the Republican Party, we have to call it both ways. We can't make excuses like the left does. We're better than them. I pray that these allegations are unfounded, but only time will tell. Let's get back into it. Good stuff's coming up. Well, unfortunately, everyone, we really need to enjoy this pouty apology because it's as close as we're going to get to consequences for all the that Sunny Hostin talks. Did you notice her huffing and puffing like a child? That's because she's never been held accountable for anything in her life. We talk about the younger generation and how they're entitled. This is the epitome of entitled. She can't believe that she would have to correct something she said, even though it's not credible and no one's been found guilty. As she was giving that apology, besides the poopy pants look she had on her face to let us all know that she doesn't want to do this, we got it, Sunny. I noticed something else. She looked like a deer in the headlights. What was going through her head, and I could almost hear it, was, you mean my actions have consequences? What is this crazy world I'm living in? Anyway, seeing her eat humble pie just brings joy to my heart. I wish it wasn't on such a kind of touchy subject like this, but I hope you all like that as much as I did. I hope it's worth the wait through the rest of all their nonsense talking through the video. I'll wrap up with this because unlike liberal media, I want to try to be balanced. Not that I'm media, but you know what I mean. In case you didn't know, there was a case opened against Matt Gaetz in 2021 with all the details they already talked about and the lawyer talked about. And it was opened in 2021 by the Ethics Committee. It was closed. Nothing credible was found. And then it was reopened in 2024. Now, the questionable part is he resigned right before the Ethics Committee came out with their findings or were going to announce them. Matt Gaetz said it was because he wanted to pursue the position of Attorney General full time. So that seems like a weak excuse. Now, if I look at the things that suggest maybe he is telling the truth, hopefully that he is telling the truth, he knows that there will be a confirmation hearing for his appointment to AG and that this will definitely put these incidents or alleged incidents back in the spotlight. So the fact that he's willing to go through with that, you know, I mean, if he resigned from Congress to avoid that report coming out, well, I'd imagine it'll come out during the confirmation hearings. So the positive I take away from that is he's still willing to face the music because that's all the Democrats are going to be talking about. I don't know if we'll ever get an answer. And what do you all think? Let me know in the comments. Is his appointment in trouble either way with these allegations lingering out there? I know I just said this, but I just don't know the answers, and it's frustrating not to know. Let me know what you guys think about this because I can't make sense of it all. Maybe we can get some dialogue going on in the comments section and paint a clearer picture. I mean, maybe some of you know things that I don't know or have read something that I haven't or know some facts that tells you he's absolutely guilty or the opposite. I guess we'll just have to deal with it when we get there. And if it turns out he is guilty of a crime, I will absolutely denounce him just like I would someone on the left. Another side effect of this is things like this are great distractions for the Democrats. It's hard to give them anything, any dirt to hold over Republicans' heads because they will use it to divert attention from how terrible they are as a party and hope people forget what a mess they are right now. I just don't want stories out there that take away how awful they are, especially in a time where everyone seems to be waking up to their BS. The final thing is Matt Gaetz tweeted out this clip from The View with an eye roll emoji. So I see that as a positive that he's not avoiding the topic, or he could be using reverse psychology and I'm falling right into the trap. I don't know what to think. I gotta be honest, I really thought that was gonna be a super fun episode because Sunny Hostin had to eat crow, and I do love that. I'll probably play it on a loop for the rest of the day, but I thought this would be a more fun video. The subject matter kind of disappoints me, so I apologize if the tone wasn't as fun as the thumbnail suggested. It wasn't intentional. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you like watching unhinged psychotic liberals like Sunny Hostin spew allegations as if they're fact, then click on one of the two videos that just popped up on your screen. Otherwise, as always, I really, really appreciate you watching. The end.